5:30ish on the evening. So I just have to watch because we did have somebody call us who was interested in an item we were selling. But then she said, never mind, I'll come back when everybody's feeling better. And I wasn't quick enough at the time to say, well, it's not contagious. So, I mean, and all she said was thanks, not thanks, Casey, see you soon. And I'm waiting to hear back, but I don't know if she's just going to show up or if she's going to text or call or what. So I kind of have to be watching that too. So it's a little bit of both. I might not even be rolling that long. We'll see. But G was looking to be feeling a little bit better. And then was having chest pains and feeling weak and tired again. Even it's actually been a very nice day out, not much wind, very sunny, warm, blue sky. On the deck for a little while, but he's kind of holding himself like this, how he was most comfortable, and he just kind of didn't really want to be there that long, which normally he'd be like, I want to be outside in this beautiful day. So, and I've kind of been like that, and that's one thing he said, he's got that I'm trying to stay happy and upbeat and that, and I said I am until I think of things that make me otherwise sometimes, and then he says, then it really took an interesting but lovely spin. That's not opening for some reason. Where he said, just a moment. Where he said, and I don't know about sharing this part, but we all have family difficulties, right? And that, and people that know him well probably know a bit about his family. But basically, I mean, just feeling cozy. Basically, he said something about how it was too bad that his parents never loved each other. I could call that a moment of exaggeration. I kind of, it's a mild pet peeve when I feel like people are exaggerating. But I said, well, I'm sure they did still a little. We could also have said at one point in time they did. Sometimes, it's really hard, and I don't want to talk too much about it, especially in the comments afterwards, but it's really hard when someone's been in a long relationship and no longer, and they both are still alive. That's, quite sad. And sometimes people stay in it for the kids. But his dad didn't seem like a very well-connected individual with a lot of the family. I want to at least get my water. If I don't have more coffee, because I might still be napping again later, I want to at least get my water. I think it's probably going down there. Anywho, this is not, I don't feel this is me bragging. I can understand how it might come across as this. I don't feel like it is, but it certainly did make me feel nice. So maybe a little bit, but it was such a nice thing that I don't, thanks for the like, that I don't really want to keep it to myself. Basically, it's delay saying that anybody's watching, but okay, there we go. But basically, he then followed it with saying it's so nice to come home to someone that he knows loves him, and if people know that we're connected, we live with each other, and that's all they know. That's fine. I mean, because either way, I would hope that you love the people you live with, at least a little, But you know, people may or may not know. But yeah, so that was nice. As far as this, again, our doorbell doesn't work, so I'm not too sure um, if this. I should be watching on this phone. I really should. And it keeps saying slow connection. I should be watching on this phone in case that person comes because it'll be probably the next 10 or 15 minutes. I'm not so sure though. I mean, if she was worried that what G is sick with is contagious, now that I've told her it's not, you know, she'd be all up for coming again because I can help her look at the product. So I'm not too sure. Um, anyway, but and it may or may not be someone I'm familiar with, going by the first name. It's not like nobody else has this name, but I don't know. It would just be random if it was the case. Um, yeah, school's gonna be in about 15, maybe even 20 minutes. And I almost want to text about that too, but then that might be why she doesn't come. And if she gets here soon, she'll get a spot. Um, but uh, but yeah, because been under the weather and sore and this and that. It's kind of like and not kind of on our usual kind of schedule. It's kind of like trying to nap at like 11ish, and it was like and I think we succeeded. And then somebody was delivering something, and that call woke us up. So I'm glad I didn't make a thing of it because I would have named that. But Charlie, I think, was the English version. He didn't even bring us anything from the chocolate candy factory. Mind, I'm not hugely into that stuff, but yeah, I don't want to have a lot of caffeine and sugar because I do. That's why. Uh, if I'm trying to nap again, because some people there I don't know how the heck they do it, but they also don't have chronic fatigue syndrome and they like to keep busy and it's their routine. Some people will be up from likely very early in the morning until late at night, and some people are night owls. Yeah, I haven't been in ages, and definitely appreciate those uh, naps. Um, so part of me feels anyway. So yeah, the update about him doing a little bit better, though I will just say it's still uncertain. But like part of our routine. And sorry, there's just not much in here. So more than I thought. So part of our routine is well, he did have a little bit to eat before bed, which was good because he didn't really have any dinner. Um, he plays piano before bed. Didn't do that. Like I say, he usually has a fitness routine. Didn't do that last night. Did do it this morning, and normally during the day, which is a fitness routine in itself, uh, would be at work. So it's not like it's missing one. But yeah, and I'm still not sure what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. Um, but I just wanted to, and I was hoping there might be some interaction while I was saying it, but it only took 9 minutes or so. So um, that should have had at least 5 to 10 people. I mean, there's lots of stuff on the internet, and people are busy and stuff too, right? But yeah, I just wanted to give that update, I guess, and share that really lovely moment. Really lovely moment. Um, it is nice, and it's also nice when you're at home knowing that someone who loves you is is part of your life, and you know happy to see you when you get home as well. And then of course there's dogs, and actually this is a segue. It it disturbs and disgusts me, and I don't want to hear stories. I've heard some, but how some people mistreat animals, and I think those people need to get some sort of help. Maybe they were mistreated themselves, but you'd think, I mean, I don't know, it's weird how some people they learn from that, and it's kind of like they're like, I don't want anyone else to go through what I went through, and other people are like, this is the norm. This is okay. I survived. Maybe I don't know. So, but in saying that, I was thinking of doing a collaborative idea, songwriting idea. So, and let me know if anybody's interested. Um, I have a unique title. I think I did in the message about it. And basically, it's about how, and actually, I also thought of an interesting thing about how even when dogs are at a shelter or a pound, that's where they live. And they're usually amongst people, and usually a lot of other dogs too, but that's where they live. But I had this idea of writing a song about uh, how, although dogs are dogs, not people, they feel a lot of the same emotions, and the connection that they have. This is like the second or third day in a row now where I've wanted to write a song about either dogs that have passed away in my life, or just simply owning a dog, or. But I'm not much of a songwriter. I mean, I can be at times, but I'm really not much of one. So maybe we could collab, and yeah, I think that could be fun. Okay, I think I said the gist of that. So um, I just need to check something on this device. But yeah, I was just sharing a collaborative song idea I have, and I'm open to other collaborative song ideas. And you don't even have to be a songwriter, by the way, if you are just interested in being creative. And and I'll say this, that that I would give you credit. I'm just gonna go check the dog quickly. Don't recognize that car. Sort of think so. I said no, but she did know that we texted, so she was curious to see if we texted again. She would see that we did, and it doesn't say that she's seen that. So, anywho, um, so yeah, I don't think I slept much. So I did sleep pretty well during the night, though. So I have no idea why I that. And kind of, oh, he's the one I need to go back and the bed, essentially. Tomorrow's going to be even nicer though, and hopefully it won't be windy. But I might even be in a car for a lot of it. Um, Want to quickly take care of something here. At what time? You can always call about that later. Honestly, I think some of them do know everything. But I can call about that and see if I have to register. I want to make sure I get a spot. So, sorry that things were a bit slow there. I just wanted to send something to somebody about something tomorrow. And I agreed to that. We haven't talked much about the 29th or the 17th yet, so that's fine. So I don't know if there's anything else to share. To be quite honest, I thought I thought if there had been some conversation, maybe, baby, but there hasn't really been. So yeah, I can use that. Just a nice I thought not to, but now I certainly have. When he was active an hour ago. Sorry. Um, with this particular video, I just noticed it's more so, and I think fully have learned this setting the other day, or at least I think I have. It's so inconsistent. It's more so that the first two in that mention, I'm not big about, or I mean, I don't relate to. Okay, it's when you go to the actual page and then click it. But um, energy vampires are a totally different thing. I would say, um, as far as they as far as I think it depends how you define those, because some people's energy just doesn't gel with other people's. That's really all it is. I would say, some people are just very energetic, and or you know talk about deep stuff, and I'm sure you might be thinking, yeah, and you're one of them. Like I'm one of them, and maybe you are too, for that matter. But at the same time, I'm not always, and it's not necessarily a bad thing either, I would say. So, so I was just noticing something that made me think to mention that. But and I guess I'll also say that just because I'm not wearing that shirt with that message doesn't mean it doesn't still apply, and that should be obvious as well. Okay, well, I haven't heard from her. I don't really want to call her again. I mean, I guess she just sounded well, but I said I'm fine, and maybe she thought, well, maybe it was her way of saying no, no, it's okay, or just come some other time. I didn't want to seem too forceful, or whatever, but maybe, again, if we'd been on the phone for a few seconds longer, I would have said, well, it's not contagious. But maybe she just thought, no, because you're probably sick too. I mean, she hadn't talked with me for more than a couple of minutes, this particular person I'm thinking of, and it's just the way my voice is. But I don't think it necessarily sounds sick. I can tell a difference when I am, but I mean, I don't want to turn down somebody who wants to buy something from us, but it's kind of annoying. It's kind of like, we said that it was fine, and all she said was thanks. Not thanks. See you shortly then. Okay. Look forward to coming this afternoon or anything like that. Just thanks. I suppose it wasn't gee thanks or I don't know. Was it thanks for confirming that? Or pushy? Because that's not how we would intend to come across. So I don't know. It's just weird. But if I called, that might be annoying to her. This is not someone who we really know. Just somebody who wanted to buy a product and that. So she is okay with if G's not available, either because he's still sick or well, maybe she's not okay with that. I don't know, but or at work, as long as I'm able to help her try out the product, do some sampling, then that's fine. We don't have to talk too much about it um, here, because it's home business. So. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to really say. It's kind of like I've got myself in the podcasting mode again. At that same time, though, at the same time, though, and stupid CBC. I know I shouldn't say that, but are you serious? Like they have the same repetitive music playing in their intro, and I think it's usually about 12 to 15 minutes long. This time, it's the first freaking, pardon my French. Uh, that's kind of an interesting image, though. Can I do this while it's filming? Um, yep. It's the same. It's for the first 28 minutes. Like, why post that stuff then? Who wants to wait? I mean, you can skip ahead, but I mean, and sure, maybe I do this kind of thing sometimes. I do, but they have you know editors and TV crews. It was a news channel thing basically because it's good to be updated every now and then. I briefly saw a neighbor across the street the other day. They're talking about the film industry thing. I don't know if she's interested. She's quite busy, at least for the next week or two. But then she might be. I don't know. I couldn't tell. But meant to tell her that we saw her, just kind of in the background of something that was about sport related, actually. But but I went there, kind of talked about the one thing. Even at 11ish, it looked like she maybe was still sleeping, or that had woken her up. I don't know. I think she's usually an early riser, but then she's got her late nights, and maybe she didn't sleep well last night. I don't know. She wasn't that mad. At least that's the main thing. But yeah, and it's kind of like, yeah, I didn't stay long. I just didn't. Anyway, anything else? Like I said, I'm kind of feeling like I'm in the mode to keep rolling. I haven't been interrupted otherwise. I mean, yeah, she could try the doorbell. I mean, I think that she should think that we might be expecting her, as that's a sign. Um, um, but yeah, she could, and or try knocking, unless that door's locked, of course. But she also knows that she has a number for us. Like she could call or text us. Unless she's like, okay, they're not answering the doorbell. I think that's meant to be. Oh, not answering because it doesn't work. So I don't know. I mean, be nice to see that kind of follow through, but at the same time, it's kind of annoying. And I'm kind of hungry. Just so you know. Yeah, that person saw parking. I mean, the car's still there. Still can't tell if somebody's sitting in there or not, but I think that's just the other seat. But it's like 3 or 4 houses down. So, how you doing? He's running the faucet. So, oh, oh, oops. Good thing that water was tightly closed. That is. Oh. I am seeing something right now that might be another topic. You're welcome to suggest summer songs, but I'm looking at something right now. Because I was watching for um, a text message and that to come in from that person on this phone, and she's been kind of too unwell to keep up with much. It's kind of letting me hold on to this phone for right now. So I'm just kind of looking at the socials and noticing someone who I'm not super familiar with, although she was on the update about what's going on with him. Um, Two people actually. One was in the hospital recently. I'm not really sure what happened there. These cushions slide on. And now this one, if I won't watch this back of but this one, I think they're decently close with each other, has had pneumonia for 8 days. So this is, why it's good to. I mean, it can be stressful to know about. It can be. Sometimes we might feel helpless on what we can do for a person. I'm just going to quickly grab my check the door again and grab my thing here. How's it going? Good. Just waiting to do it fully out, although it doesn't look that busy out there, to take the dog out. I'm waiting to see if this lady shows up. Yes. We don't have, let's just say this. Let's just say we don't have a lot of the product anyway. So, and yeah, we live close enough, somewhat close to two schools. So this is the time when I believe, or maybe it's more 2:30, which is in 10 minutes. It'll be hectic. Although it's lovely out, like I say, for this time of year, it's, but, for safety or after school plans or whatever that might not be at the school, the kids get picked up. So, not mine, I don't have any. Such a neat little slider feature to keep the lenses clean, of course, of course. But, I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying? Nobody's here to tell me kick it. But, at the same time, it might be nice if showed that there was somebody saying something, not just liking. Um, but not that likes are appreciated. Um, but yeah, it's good to. Oh, still like, no, I don't want to know about here either. It's good to. The elixir of love. What's that about? Is that a song? Oh, it looks like it's making some sort of really jelly or really something candies or something. But yeah, basically, oh, that's not the one from just now. I don't know why it showed above the one that is now, but anyway. But yeah, so basically, hi, call her SRAME if that's okay. Doing all right. How are you? Um, and basically, yeah, I think it's good to check on those that matter to us. Never know what they might be going through. Might need help. Might need company, support. It's an important thing. But yeah, this particular contact, again, more so someone he knows, and that pneumonia for 8 days and not much better. I mean, my only knowledge of pneumonia and people having it is that they don't really improve from it. Am I wrong? Or am I just thinking of, like I said, I've heard a couple of, like there was my, oh, NIV. It's a great right here, though. Unless there's a flowers either way, all day. There was my grandmother And then um, there was I've heard of a couple other people, and I don't know how common it is that they often get sepsis after. But anyway, again, the deeper stuff, the stuff that's maybe because this is a channel that me and G both use, that's maybe a bit more triggering. If you hear this while you're alive, great. If not, that's fine too. I mean, we don't know anybody closely. I know I'm talking about the person that I'm talking about, but like I said, I'm not exactly close with her. Um, and it says also here that she's still gobbling painkillers and decongestants. Um, and um, and I think so many people they're looking for those magic pills and they're just pill popping. I mean, I get it somewhat, but I also kind of don't. Or some people will call them a cocktail of pills or whatever. It's just put the lotion on. It feels like it's a weekend, I tell you. Um, and I should look back for comments more than I do actually, because sometimes they don't seem to go to notifications, or missing them. So it's if they're there, I want to see them. So pretty good at catching them while they're live, though, seeing those. But yeah, I mean that's not good for the body. Like these keep coming up. It's not great for the body to. There are plant-based remedies. There are. What keeps happening with it? It's supposed to be on your device. Plant-based remedies, healthy eating, of course. If you're not too far along with things, um, you could say also, you could say fitness things, um, but gobbling or popping pills is not. And I had a really, it maybe isn't as super deep, but somewhat deep moment in a video a couple days ago. I think it was the one. There's been a few of them, and even maybe a few of them that have, in the past few months that have mentioned depression. About that. But it was in the title, and it was very recently, and it was a live stream. And it was maybe about 30, 40 minutes in. I don't think it was more than an hour of that video, but if you're taking those things plus being sick, then you're not having energy to eat. Some meds though, they do heighten your appetite, and others don't. This is the second time in the past couple hours, though, that I've heard that popsicles are good when you're feeling nauseous or sick. I'm sort of surprised, unless they're like a dairy based. I don't know. A lot of them have a lot of sugar, and I don't know. I've never heard this before. And I guess with fruit, it's natural sugar, which is like fruit and popsicles, keeping it alive. It's working. Um, when you're that sick, does it really matter if you're running clean clothes that much? Sounds like she's at home though, so and that she has a helpful neighbor, and that she doesn't feel like she'd be alive if she didn't, and so she feels blessed about community. So that's cool. You know what? Even though it's me doing it, and I don't know this person super well, I believe that she's again. I'm gonna give that a care because I do, and she gave G's a care. So G's a care? What's G's a care? Probably one of the things she's popping. Sorry. Again, I don't know her very well, and sometimes the jokes are lame. um, so it's 2:27. Probably could have done work about 3-ish, maybe 3:15, and then I'm kind of open driving on it. I mean, he's been up the whole time, but that's had 8 views. Who knew? Doesn't say who they are though. Many calls. It shows up. Nope. That's at 18. And that's at 39. What's up? People are reacting like that post. The first update, which was in writing, and maybe they didn't get all of it, but they got the first part. It has 20 supportive reactions. And then the picture of him and the dog has 15. So I mean, they don't everybody else. That can't be right. Yeah, they have 2 or 3. It is what it is. This is the weirdest looking stove I've ever seen. I believe it's a stove. Or it's just a stove cover, maybe. It looks like a car, an extra large car mat, and it looks weird. And that thing for bags and shoes kind of looks a little bit weird too. Like in you look weird, okay? So what's your point? Just kidding. This is interesting though. What do they call this? A cake stand? It's an awfully fancy thing for an ice cream cart. For parties. A photo booth. Yeah. I tell you, working with lighting is annoying. Probably the best as you're gonna get. So I need a pull and thread. I'm hungry. Hello, John. But yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I was into boxing. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm wishing that I had more reason to, although tomorrow I will, had more reason to go out and about and had more energy, and that I didn't have to monitor G, but the things we do for the people we care about, right? I know he's wishing to be outside more too. Maybe I'll try and bring him with us on the dog. But I can't make him. That's just the truth. So, well, there hasn't been anybody here for a while now. I don't think our other commenter has stayed. For whatever reason, possibly not personal. Thinking I should be out there because winter's coming. But, I said the things, and I will be. I will be soon. I said the things, and soon I have to do the things. But I know there are people out there that want to chat. I know there are. So where are you? That tab said there was somebody watching. But it's not indicating it here. Dallas, if you're watching, please say something. I'd like to kind of get to the bottom of something that happened recently, or I don't know. Maybe I don't care. Maybe I'd rather just say, ignore me. I don't like saying things like that, but you can say, partner, I mean, I think I will reading it, but people do crazy things. But just to instead of putting more effort in other things, they put effort into things that are not really necessary, and just let things go sometimes. But I'll tell you this much that I mean, one thing that's kind of cool is that she must be thinking about, oh, yeah, he's in the community, but that doesn't mean that he's not, that's whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, they were in university, and one of them, although she did agree with her, I could definitely tell it wasn't just what I was thinking and hoping. I could definitely tell that she enjoyed chatting. It was never, and the other one is on. She was very happy to see me there. She's not online very often anymore in the chats, or whatever. But and yeah, she's seen many of my videos, way more than that one, and that one should have been all it took because it was very deep and heartfelt and caring. And this particular person I'm thinking of that I'm not gossiping about, just kind of alluding to, um, should I would have thought would remembered how you know unless I think there's two people and that's the other one, I don't know, but how it's hard to know sometimes on the internet, but I was borrowing it because we share the device sometimes, but like totally a good person. Not toot my own bugle, but totally a good person. That video was only made it obvious, and if she forgot that, then because it was 2 or 3 months, but still, how I don't see how one would forget it. But anyway, then it's kind of like um, kind of like, well, okay then, you know, I really just think that those individuals need to move on because I'm fine with doing that. I wish that it hadn't kind of those misunderstandings hadn't happened and that we would have been able to kind of get past them. But and I'm only saying a lot of this because it indicates that somebody is watching when I'm on this other tab. But and just in case, I mean, it's well into it. Yeah, it does. But what's weird is it doesn't hear. Um, so just in case, like I say, I'm just saying this. Um, like the only two that I could think that, and I'm just getting this off my chest, and then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about, I suppose, for the most part. But just a situation that happened a couple of days ago. I'm just thinking, like, and it was never suggestive type of comments. Uh, you know, I suppose, yeah, sometimes I don't have a filter, and maybe I get a little bit silly or goofy or whatever. But I know, I know that it wasn't ever with them. But um, and she was very specific about it, and only two come to mind because aside from her and one other one, but I mean, I was saying was a woman isn't. I mean, I don't know. That was going good even within that chat until she said he kind of talks to me funny or whatever, and that was vague, and I hadn't gotten that impression. And then I'm just getting something off my chest, and then we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. We can do a song, whatever. And yeah. Um, anyway, and basically, so maybe it was just something she had not been feeling until that person said that, and then thinking I might not see it or might not like that it was said in the other person, which was the case, that's what she was referring to. She didn't say young, and I got the sense that person was older. Um, again, it was some sort of misunderstanding, but I thought we cleared up. So I really don't know. But yeah, and then there's a guy. Maybe, but I was well past her. I guess she didn't know that. And then random people that maybe I didn't even know. So like it's just weird. But it goes back to what I said in the other video that this channel is about empathy, communication, enjoying each other's company, uplifting each other, and not being rude, not being judgmental. So, and I thought that that channel was about that too until, and like I say, there was still good people in it, whether I'd ever talked with them before or not. So, I mean, I'm really mostly thinking about the ones that I have talked to, and one still open to talking to me, and the other one he didn't really engage. But I wasn't the only one he didn't. I mean, his chat was quite active. He engaged with a lot of them, but certainly not all of them. That might be a little bit much to ask, perhaps. But but yeah, basically. But apparently, he did. He does, and I could kind of tell when he was playing sometimes and reading at the same time. You know, anyone's comments, and I could, um, so I was reading them, and like I said, I know that he doesn't hate me. I think that he felt like there was something going on in the chat, and that was uncomfortable for folks, and he didn't like that. But anyway, I don't need to go on about it. I mean, apparently, I needed to get it off my chest for a little bit, but and again, it's really because I'm wondering if Dallas is watching. There you go. Uh, Showing you a color that you've never seen before. It's not this. What kind of topic is that? Anywho, but yeah, so if she is here and hears this or is hearing this now, those are my feelings on the matter. Other than that, like I'm not seeing any comments coming in, I'll tell you that much. But other than that, uh, you know, I just want to move on from it all. It's unfortunate that happened, but sometimes it's the best thing to do. Just move on. You know. So anyway, I don't. I'm not going to talk about this anymore because I'm not exactly enjoying it. I guess I needed to, but I'm not exactly. I'd like to. I said I'm going to move on, so I'm going to move on. Next, and I'm just going to continue to do my best to make sure that those kind of things don't ever happen on my channel, our channel, because it's yeah, especially when people start to feel like they're building a community with people. I want to make sure that that stays strong, you know. And sometimes it takes a little effort, So, and especially because I know that there would be some people out there that also might relate to perhaps being in a quieter chapter of their life, or having experienced a lot of loved ones pass away, or just being far away, or just not being closely connected, or whatever, and just feeling isolated and lonely, or whatever it is. Um, Maybe they are out of work right now and not taking classes, or they have social anxiety, but it's easier online. Whatever it is, I know that there are people out there that really appreciate online communities. Uh, and sometimes in our life, and I think we will all have moments where we can relate to this, whether we already have or will at some point. Where sometimes the connections are stronger in person, and sometimes it's more of a online kind of thing. Um, and yeah, so like I say, I just know that there are people out there who relate to the power of online communities as well. It's nice when you can have a balance, but and then sometimes you can't afford or can't get to things, or you're avoiding something because of someone. Like I say, I don't want this to be, um, uh, you know, that kind of thing for people. So I want it to be a nice place to come, and I'll do the best I can. Um, I have a couple mods. One isn't online very much, and the other one kind of is. They haven't seen the last few that I've noticed, but and there's somebody else who was getting quite into the channel, but hasn't been on recently. I don't know if it was because we were talking about grief and because of her mother's passing, which may or may not have been recent. I don't remember, and or she's just busy with other stuff, or whatever it is. I think she said that she has kids, and yeah, she sees it when she sees it again. There's so much to see on the internet. So, but I was thinking I might ask her. I was thinking I might ask her if she'd like to be one. Uh, Again, and it's good to have more than one because especially when I'm playing music, I might not be able to catch things right away. As far as like if there's some sort of thing going on in the chat that is, I'm pretty laid back. I have a sense of humor, for the most part, what makes one person uncomfortable may not make someone else uncomfortable. And that could be the same, that could be said for me versus my mods. One of my mods, I was thinking about it a little earlier today. He tuned in and noticed that somebody's comment had been removed or, hidden or whatever. And he says, if you don't mind me asking, what happened with so and so? And I don't remember saying, but I don't remember ignoring it either. I remember seeing him ask, and I don't think I would have minded saying. So maybe I did. Point of the matter being is that you could say that, other than curiosity, you could say one reason he asked is because as a mod, I'd like to know what kind of things to look for, you know. Um, Although I think it's pretty obvious that when somebody says that you're the worst piano player in the world, I think was the wording. Um, Although he also did say maybe try guitar, and I would agree that I'm better on guitar than piano. I was tinkering with the keyboard. I was playing with the different presets or whatever, and so yeah, sometimes it takes a little bit experimenting before you find something that an accompaniment or whatever that sounds good. I didn't think it sounded terrible. I think that person, maybe he was jealous that he didn't know how to play an instrument himself. Well, then rent or get one and come to me for lessons, or at least learn. It's always nice when it can be a person. Even if it is just online, and and figure it out. Um, or maybe he had no aspirations, but kind of would like to. Maybe he was tone deaf. Maybe he's just was just very blunt, or you know, that doesn't think about. It didn't phase me. It really didn't phase me, to be quite honest. I mean, I thought it was rude. I thought he was a jerk. Pardon my French, but I know I've been musical all my life. Like I say, I was experimenting in a person came in just those few seconds. I was experimenting a little bit. So I mean, it was just kind of noodling around. Um, I don't want to sound like you're say it wasn't supposed to sound good because that is the goal. And some people may say, but I don't know. I kind of was doing music. I don't know if I'd planned to in that video or not. Um, and I don't mind being kind of organic and kind of um, pushing something out into something lovely, like working with it a little bit and then getting there. And all I ask is a little bit of patience, and then it you'll see it's worth it, kind of thing. Um, I guess it comes with when I'm just following the chords or whatever. Like that's easy to do as long as it's chorded well and it lines up, and I can tell pretty quickly when it's not. Like I've been doing music all my life. Like it's not like you know. So so basically, yeah, it's he was not right to say that, and so it didn't bother me because I knew he was wrong. You know, it kind of annoyed me that somebody would say something like that, but that was about all. And I didn't need that kind of energy on here, so so yeah, it's really good to hear. We appreciate it. Not entirely sure what that's mentioning about, but I'm glad that something was good to hear, and I'm glad that you appreciate it. And saying I'm very talented. Thank you. I'm sure you are as well. It's a good meditation sometimes. Um, well, I don't know what else to say, so maybe I'll wrap this up then. Still says that there's somebody watching. What is this? I mean, I guess it was good to get that stuff, that other stuff that I said off my chest, a little bit perhaps, and so you know, and I don't think I'll need to really talk about it anymore. So that's fine. But I had it here too. I just don't. And then people guys say, "Oh, you're talking to him? Oh, he's still around." You know, some people. You know, he did say, I'm glad that you're still around, you're still here, and you're part of the community. Again, it's those things in the moment. Maybe he meant to, because I was talking to someone after the thing where I was going through that rough time, and they said, yeah, sometimes the things that were meant to be said but not. Now it says this too, so it is counting. So, well, I don't know if it's counting that, but anyway. So yeah, basically, yeah. If you have any songs requests, topic requests, the person that was there just left. I don't think I saw a second one. Anywho, maybe it was just very, very brief. I should go see how G is doing upstairs and shortly head out briefly. Oh, and what's this about? Okay. Looks like it's fairly short and sweet. Be nice if it loaded. Okay. Which isn't exactly a non-binary sounding name, but okay, sure. And I think I said tomorrow night. Well, I think I said somewhere between 6 and 7, which is not now, not even close to now. So, um, but I guess I don't know. Might be nice. So, there's one thing I should check then. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. Bye for now.